Hey everybody, it's Matt. So today is going to be the second video update for my new personal project. Trying to stay consistent with this and actually really maintain updates and work on this because it's the first time I'm actually starting on the model itself. So I'm gonna just do this a little bit differently, a little bit raw. It's a nice day out. I've got my window open. I've got the breeze coming through. It's good stuff. So today I'm gonna be working on, honestly, just kind of blocking out my model, but more so just kind of tearing the base model apart because that's kind of what I gotta do. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of switch over to ZBrush here and start working. All right, as with the last update, I've got my pure ref scene open here. I haven't added anything new to it yet, just because I haven't needed to yet. I have decided just to give you guys a little bit of an update on my thought process. I'm going to use a combination of poses here. So I really like the way she's kind of holding her hand here. I want to kind of extend that out a bit, but I really like this pose with the scythe. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a combo between both of them. I couldn't find reference that I liked, so I may end up sketching something a little bit later just to kind of give myself something to actually look at. But I know inside my head, like, these two are going to be basically the final pose, so we're gonna just kind of work from there and see how that goes. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get situated because I have this whole assembly I have to do to get this to work. Move my screen out here, If you can't tell what I'm doing, I'm just moving my drawing tablet closer to myself because reaching all the way across my desk doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But basically what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna minimize this, get this proper. Good, you're not bouncing? No, we're good. Okay, and then so I'm gonna work off this base mesh. So this is just one of the kind of included base meshes in ZBrush. So if you've used ZBrush before, you know that this is one of the base models. And it's been a hot minute since just throw my remote everywhere. It's been a hot minute since I've used ZBrush, just because, again, I finished my last project and haven't really done anything else yet. So this is what we're doing. So I wanted to start with a base mesh just because I know this is going to get me close enough to where I want to be. And really, this takes the pain of creating the full bipedal character myself, because quite honestly, I don't want to do that right now. I want to start base and just really focus on changing this into something that makes sense for my project. So I'm going to kind of be building my base mesh off of this base mesh, if that makes a whole lot of sense. So in a sense, we're blocking. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move my mic out of the way, turn on some music, enjoy myself. I'll speed up this process in the video just so you can kind of see what's going on, what I'm doing. Just keep in mind, this is experimentation. I don't have an exact idea on how I want to do this yet, but this is purely going to be me just playing with this and experimenting with it and seeing if I can get to the shape that I want to be at. And then I'll pop in from time to time in this little lapse, or this time lapse, to kind of just go over everything. I also forgot to mention, like, this is what I do, right? Like, I track the work that I'm doing. I already have a death sculpt project. Sorry, the birds are being really loud today. I already have a project set up, so I'm just going to go ahead and just clock into that guy. And then this one also gets filtered down to my ZBrush learning since I'm tracking that currently. All right, now we start. Was that the most efficient way to remove the ears? Probably not, but I'll figure something else out there, I guess. if it isn't blatantly obvious at this point, I actually have no idea what I'm doing. So the main idea here for me anyway is to just kind of refine this and get it as skinny as I need it to be, and then I'll worry about anatomy later. So right now I'm just trying to thin the mesh out, get my block ready, and then I'll start adding some of the actual like sculpted detail right now. So I'm not working with subdivisions, I'm not screwing around with anything else. I'm just purely paying attention to kind of the just overall like shape and thinness of the joints while trying to maintain a little bit of the anatomy that already existed on this character. So that's where I'm at so far. So it seems like the tool that I needed to actually get that to do what I needed it to was the polish tool, or the polish brush. That actually made a big difference when it came to getting rid of this geometry that existed. So that's going to be kind of my starting point, because I know this character is going to have a mouth. I know there's going to be, exposed teeth and everything like that, but there are going to be no eyes. There will be a visible nose, but it's going to be rotted away, basically. Kind of like Voldemort in a way, but not so snaky. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just, I'm going to just continue refining these shapes. Okay, so here we are at my favorite part where I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Yeah, none of the shapes really make sense. The jaw is doing some stuff that I don't necessarily enjoy. I think it's just the bulgy chin that's like killing me here. Maybe if I just pull it in a little bit, it'll be better. Yeah, so there's a lot to be done here. There's a lot of issues that have to be solved. And so part of this is going to be going through and kind of looking at the musculature and figuring out where I want things to sit, as well as figuring out how I want to adjust things dependent on the design that I'm going for, because some of this is going to be armor, some of this is going to be cloth. There's going to be a lot of different things with this. So this is always the period for me when I'm like, should I be doing this? Should I be starting this? Is this something that I need to be trying to challenge myself with? This is going to turn out horrible. So this is where all the the bad brain speak comes in, right? Like this is all of the trying to convince yourself that this is not a good idea. So we are going to continue pushing forward with this. This does get me to where I wanted to be, which was to have kind of a block out going of the creature. So now that I have this, I can start looking at kind of refining and adding in sculpt detail and starting to really like work on the musculature and figure out where I want to kind of build things and how I want to grow with this. So that's going to be kind of it for today's video update thing. I still don't, this is such a weird thing for me to do, but that's just that's going to be the end for today. So if you like this video, please make sure you liked and subscribed. If you made it through the whole thing, I hope you did. It shouldn't have been too long because I sped up most of it. And if you'd like to join the channel as a member, you get access to all of my previous live streams on top of getting your name in the credits. Or if you want to join the Patreon, you get free model downloads too every month. So there's options to support if you'd like to support. If you guys have questions, as always, please make sure you let me know in the comments. I answer every single comment, so do it. But that's it for this one, and until the next one, I will see you later.